Well, it looks like the latest Marvel movie, The Marvels, has completely bombed. It is absolutely flopping, and it has the lowest MCU box office debut. And the reviews are not good. It sounds like this is a movie that was just thrown together. It didn't even have a story, a compelling enough story to cover the runtime, so they had to put a whole bunch of gags in there just to make it reach its runtime and just throw it out there and expect everyone to rush to the theaters to check it out because it's a Marvel movie. But Marvel is a long way from its heyday, and this film is absolutely bombing with just $47 million in the US during its opening weekend. Now, $47 million may sound like a lot, but we're talking about these films have budgets upwards of $400 million, need to make around $7-8 million just to break even. And with only $47 million in the first weekend, and you expect the following weekends to have pretty huge drops, this film will get nowhere close to making money. This film will definitely lose money. And again, I would have had some interest in it, but I'm not really that much into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though there's some pretty good films. I did see Captain Marvel, and I didn't love that one. It was all right. It was better than a lot of people thought. And this one sounded like it might be fun. Miss Marvel is really fun with her TV show on Disney Plus. But again, I'm not huge into this stuff, but she seemed like Miss Marvel. That character seems pretty cool. And I've heard that even Captain Marvel is a lot more laid back, a lot more relatable in this movie as opposed to what she was in Captain Marvel. But other than that, it's just this movie sounds absolutely horrible, just like simply a bad movie, and that's really why no one's going to see it. And the funny thing is, of course, as expected, all the talk is how, oh, it's misogynistic and people don't want to go see it, and it's just the most, it's just, you could have set an alarm to it. You knew it was going to happen. You knew that was coming. And of course, Stephen King is putting out a tweet, which we'll look at. But Stephen King, who I'm a fan of, read several of his books. I'm reading one of his books now. It's the first really recent book that's been put out in the last 5-6 years that I've read from Stephen King. And I'm about 30% of the way through it. It's called Billy Summers, and it's about a hitman. It's a hitman story about someone who hire for kill. Really interesting story. But Stephen King, at least once a chapter, if not more, has to throw in his little jabs at Republicans, at conservatives, at Trump. He is obsessed with politics. I mean, absolutely obsessed. And you go to his Twitter feed right off the bat, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th word an hour ago is Trump. You look at his Twitter feed at any point in time, he'll be talking politics and Trump. Trump lives in this man's head rent free. I'm telling you. Then here he is retweeting Joe Biden. Stephen King is gone. And then he talks shit about Congress, of course, because Congress right at the moment is majority Republican. So Congress is a total shit show. Stephen King his mind is absolutely saturated with politics, anti-Trump. This is, if I've ever seen a case of TDS, this is it. But he also puts out some of the rejection of the Marvels, maybe adolescent fanboy hate, yuck, girls, which is absolute bullshit. And the fact of the matter is, 65% of those going to see this movie are actually of the male variety. 65% of the Marvel's audience was male, so there's no reason to hear it. And I've already talked to some people who went to the theaters and there was barely anyone. There were 6 people, all dudes. Not a surprise. These are the people that are going to support these comic book movies. But then they talk shit about this group of people. That's the funniest thing, especially white men, which are the majority of people are going to be going to these theaters to support these kind of movies. And you talk shit about them. Call them misogynistic. Absolutely insane. But the bottom line is the Marvels, 65% of the audience were men. Where's all the women coming to support this movie? Well, the movie sucks. Women aren't that huge in general. Not all, but in general, they're not huge fans of superhero movies. And this film, trailers look like crap. So let's stop making up bullshit. And I say Stephen King just loses all credibility. It's not about, it's not about what side you're on politically, but when you're completely, you already know what his opinion is going to be on everything, including this, and not just him, but anyone else who's coming out and saying crap like this. Give us good movies. And that's all you had to do. And this film, and I haven't seen it. So you could say, well, you're talking shit. I've heard enough to know this movie is not a quality movie that they cared about, that they went in with a great script and a screenplay. This is a film that they threw out there, and then they did some test screenings, didn't go well, so they did all these reshoots, and they threw in all these gags in there. I've heard enough to know this is not going to be in my movie. And in general, the comedy of the MCU doesn't really vibe with me, so I'm not a huge fan of the MCU, period, for that reason. But in the MCU's heyday, there was some really good stuff, but holy cow. So Stephen King, who himself doesn't go to MCU movies, so what happened? Stephen King, why aren't you supporting the movie? What is it, Yuck Girls or what? Movie was mediocre and I'm being polite. There are easier ways to admit you had Ghost Riders for your... I don't know. I don't think he does do Ghost Riders. I don't think Stephen King does do it, because I read Stephen King's books and they're pretty consistent in style. And if he does do Ghost Riders, he makes sure to throw in his political jabs in there. But his style is pretty obvious. When you read, if you're a Stephen King fan, you read enough Stephen King books, you kind of know he doesn't have a Ghost Rider. I don't think so. By your logic, the movie was rejected even more by adolescent girls who didn't actually care enough to go see it. Where is your criticism for them? Ah, interesting. But no, won't make that criticism. Damn. So anyway... let me know what you guys think of this movie completely bombing the Marvels, even though the point of the matter is, I don't want to hear no bullshit. Men will go see movies with women in it. We do it all the time. Some of the greatest films, whether it's The Terminator. I mean, we've been through this. It could be The Terminator. It could be Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, all the entire Alien franchise. We will go see these movies that are female-led if they're good. Don't care. Nobody cares about the gender or the skin color of the hero or whatever. Give us some good freaking movies. This movie is not that. It does not sound like that. And I'm not going to waste my money and time on a film that they didn't really put their heart and soul in and give us something of high quality. I'd rather go see, if you're going to go to the film, go to the theaters, go see Killers of the Flower Moon or something for Scorsese that actually put some passion into it. And the acting is top notch and the screenplay is top notch. And I won't say a comic book can't be that. It can be. We've seen it in the past. Obviously, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman killed it in the box office. Men and women, and everyone loves Wonder Woman who are comic book fans, because Wonder Woman's a great movie. Wonder Woman, we went to see it. Wonder Woman 1984, different story, complete crap. But that's beyond the scope of this video. Let me know what you guys think of the Marvels bombing. Is this the end of the cinematic universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it? Maybe.